And a happy Friday morning to all of you who made it through another week. And look at this, I'm here so early. We might have to change the landscape lights. Hey, it's 6:45. I mean, it's not too early. Anyway, I'm very lucky that this homeowner allows me to get here this early. I would hope you guys can hear me trying to keep my voice down. But yeah, this house has bougainvilleas and all kinds of other challenges, but it's a nice small geometric pool. It stays very, very clean. I would say that this is a quartz finish, although it maybe looks like regular white plaster. It is not. Maybe we can see it a little better in the spa. But yeah, so that's a little higher cost than just regular old white plaster. It has the flex in it and whatnot, but I pretty much treat it the same. Don't want to use too much Pool RX in a white plaster pool because you can turn it blue with the copper. So anyway, I'm going to get to this and clean it up, and we'll move on to stop 2 on Friday. Working for the weekend. You like? Okay. I like. It's okay. It's alright. Alright, so let's do the chems here. Let's dunk our test strip. Once again, we had a lot of rain. And yeah, absolutely. I'm totally fine with that. Here we have our ORP right here. That's like a 1.5. That's right where I want it. It's pretty high pH. I'm gonna hit it with a splash of acid. But aside from that, I don't never add too much acid, but that's, you know, easily like an 8.2. So we want to knock it down to about a 7.6. So I'm gonna add some acid and we will get out of here. We're already cleaned up. Okay, so some of you guys said add some chemicals. We want to see you add chemicals. This is how I add muriatic acid. I put my bucket right here, and so I'm right here next to a lot of my suction lines and the skimmer. I'm not ever going to add, ever going to add acid to a skimmer. However, I do want it to be mixing, and so I'm going to add it right there. Okay, that's just a little quarter. Don't breathe that stuff in. I'm gonna walk away here, let the fumes dissipate, but yeah, that'll knock the pH down here in the next 6 hours or something. So anyway, the weekend will be ready to go. Okay, notice how there's almost no bubbles on that, behind that pump cover. Okay, just the differences between the manufacturers. This is how the Pentair pump acts. That's how Pentair's act. You notice that the Jandy and Hayward pools have a lot more air in that. I don't know how it makes a difference, but to be honest with you, that instills more confidence in me than if there was air in the line. But just saying, that's why Pentair is number 1. All right, good morning. So we're here at stop number 2 on Friday, our square pool. And although the light is very different here, and not as demonstrative as it was, say, last week, in the sense that we can't see the dust that's here, but believe me, it is there. This is what this pool you know, gets with the child fence, all of this stuff. These are the Hawaiian, they call it the lilikoi, or the passion fruit. But yeah, and so none of that stuff comes in here. The only stuff that really gets in this pool is homeowners and a little bit of dust. And we've kind of, I don't know, I thought there was some ducks here for a while, but I haven't seen any evidence of them for a while. And I think they've maybe been taking some steps to shoo them away, because there was a lot of bird poop right along here. Not really there anymore. Now, maybe that was just the rain washing it away. Probably was. But anyway, this pool, when I took it over, was at like 6,700 parts per million. So for the salt, and was still producing salt. And so that's a testament to Pentair IC 20, 30, 40s. Those salt cells are the best in the industry. There's a reason why they're hard to get and why they are so expensive, or they're more expensive than the other ones. But either ones, you know, either way, you guys have seen that the Jandy pools are working pretty good, and by gum, even the Hayward pools work pretty okay, as long as you're not depending on the salt cell to sanitize your pool completely. Every one of my Hayward pools, I have to add liquid chlorine to that. So anyway, let's get the chems and we'll get moving on and get out of here, move on. Okay, so let's take our chems here and look at our test strip. Okay, like I said, this pool is very low on salt, or not, I didn't say that actually. What I said was high on salt, and it has come down. So I actually think it's right bang on. Okay, look at that. It says 3,500. It's settled on about 3,500. So that is well within tolerances. And so let's, after 15 seconds, you can see that our test strip is showing up some chlorine here in numbers 2 and 3. And once again, that's perfect for a winter pool. I have this salt cell turned down to like 60%, and nobody's been swimming, maybe using the jacuzzi, but not much more than that. So, all right, I'm gonna brush and clean it up and we'll move on. All right, so we're all cleaned up. Pump basket, skimmer basket, water crystal clear, plenty of ORP sanitizer, brushed every surface, walls included. And so anyway, let's move on. Let's keep going. Okay, we're here at the spool. Not much to the spool. This little thing, like we've talked about before, weir gate issues. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I net everything and I brush everything into the drains, as I've said before. Anyway, we'll take care of it. Let's do the chems real quick. Okay, let's take the chems here. Yeah, see, that's more than enough chlorine right here. So yeah, well, that's like a 3, almost, you know, going on the way to a 5. Perfect. 7.6, plenty of alkalinity. Cyanuric's a little low, but maybe we'll add a little grain. We can't add tabs here because we don't have a proper skimmer. But anyway, this pool stays pretty clean. There's not much to it. Like I said, how hard can you thrash a 1,000-gallon body of water? But you know, there are ways. Anyway, these trees here, or plants here, they've actually taken out the dead ones, so that's good. Anyway, it's all in efforts of helping the pool stay clean. That is the whole plan. Anyway, I'm going to clean it up. We're going to move on to stop 4. Okay, so to properly clean this pool, I sweep everything into the main drain. Turn on the pool, make sure that it's sucking from the drain, right? And we're returning to the little returns. Yeah. Sucking from the main drain. There you go. So we're returning to the bottom of the pool, not to the jets. And so we have suction, but we don't have all of the visual, you know, we don't have the jets blinding us, as it were, right? So anything that's on the bottom of the pool, I just sweep right in. Any sand here? Yeah, actually all the pools got a lot of rain related junk in them, and yeah, that's just what happens. So I actually netted this pretty good, so there's really not much here on the bottom, but once again, this is how I do it. There's, aside from me sticking a hose that I don't even own in that improperly built skimmer, there's no way for me to vacuum the spool. Okay, that's fine. This is how I do it though. Once again, just brush it all in. It actually works pretty okay. Now I'm not sure whether that was the intention of this builder. Might have been just a happy accident, but when you build a pool, make sure you put a proper skimmer in. Okay, for the normal operation of the spool here, we're gonna give some suction to the skimmer and then some to the main drain, right? So like maybe a 65-35 kind of thing. And then here on the return, we're gonna put it right here because this is returning to the bottom of the train, not the jet. And then this is more of a jet return. So at whatever I have this thing running at, which is low, now when I come over here, I have a cleaner egg timer, meaning that when I push it, the pump will ramp up for a half an hour. And so now that's what this will look like. This doesn't have the vigorous jets and bubbles that we did, or we would under, like, you know, if we're using this as a spa. But yeah, so anyway, it's just, this is how it does it. It percolates this, and I'll, if I were to have added any chemicals, this would be a perfect mode to ensure mixing. So like say I added some acid, we would never want to add acid to a pool that is not circulating. Ever. Okay, I was keeping a secret from you. I got another new pool in my neighborhood. So my Friday is actually filling up pretty quick. And yeah, it's an infinity pool, a beautiful, beautiful infinity pool. And we have a lot to talk about here. Great big Baja shelf. Yeah, so I was here yesterday. My homeowner called me up and I came over and checked it out. So yeah, there's a problem here. So one of the things that I can see is happening is the edge pump is running, but the main pool pump is not running. So anyway, this is what you have to deal with. Yeah, take a look at that interior finish and tell me if you see anything. My eye sees all kinds of things. I know that the main pool pump is not running and that the edge pump is, because our Hayward navigator, and you know what, life, I can't make this stuff up. Life is just so funny. Yesterday, in my video yesterday at stop number 3, I have an old Hayward navigator, and I even made a mention, like, I don't even know if they sell those things anymore, I guess I said they sell them, but here is one. I showed up here yesterday, and they have the exact pool cleaner that I was referring to, maybe even talking a little bit of trash about. One of the things, like I said, is that this is not for, that cleaner is not for this kind of interior finish, a pebble interior finish. But anyway, we're gonna make this work. This gentleman just bought it, and yeah, now I can see, look, the cleaner, the thing just went on, and I don't know why things are going on, because nothing should be running here until 9. I already changed all of the schedules yesterday, so knob twisting already. Okay, let's get to work. When I got here, the pool was running. Now it's 8 o'clock in the morning. This pool's not supposed to be running, but something happened with the screen logic, and it went back. I reprogrammed it yesterday, but it went back. But anyway, when I was here yesterday, there was a lot of leaves, bougainvilleas and whatnot in here, and it's staining the interior finish. But yeah, I was here yesterday, and I did a once over, kind of cleaned up the pool. I added a bag of salt. We were at like 2,300, 2,400, and I added one bag. This morning we're at about 3,100, and I am going to add, I don't know, it's just maybe a quarter bag, and then I'm going to wait again. I never want to over add salt. But yeah, isn't this a beautiful, beautiful pool? Very high end. We have an outdoor kitchen here, and a lot of nice lighting. Wonderful bench here next to the spa, which is, this is a large spa. And then here, check out this little cubby here. You know, this is like, you know, for mom or something. Mom can sit here while you know, say the kids are in the spa. I don't know, they don't have young kids. I think they actually have college age kids. So but anyway, this is also just a, you know, maybe nice place to have a cocktail or something there. But yeah, this is a backyard made for entertaining, and yeah, you look out on our whole community here. Yeah, it's a little Edward Scissorhands, but we like living here. I feel so fortunate that I get to live in this high rent district. I've been very fortunate in life. The Angry Pool Man married well. Okay, so let's take a look at our equipment here. We have, oh, and hey, this is for our viewer who said, how come you don't have 2 filters in tandem? Well, we don't have them in tandem here, but we do have 2. We have number 1 with their clean and clear, and we have the edge pump with its own individual canister, which that's the way to go. Look at the capacity size. They're also very large canisters. So I love the fact that they have all this electrical out of the way. It has to be for code and everything, because the spa is up above grade, so this stuff's all going to be off the ground. Check valves for our jet pump, or excuse me, for our edge pump, so this never has to be worried about priming. Check valves, and then Pentair VST pump. This is called the Whisper Flow, and then we have, since they have the screen logic, they have the IntelliTouch with no LCD. You know, most of the things we have is the Easy Touch, and the Easy Touch has an LCD right there. So you don't need the LCD if you're using screen logic, which they're using the screen logic here. So everything is going to be done on the phone. I've already got access to that, and so instead of having, you know, access to the schedules over on the service panel, I just have them here on my phone. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, the pump is running. 9 to 4. I'm gonna back off on the electrical use for the rest of the winter here and just run the edge pump, I don't know, like 10 to 1. I don't have to run them concurrently like you would in a Hayward system. My other infinity pool here on Friday has an infinity system. I did not go there today because they have a construction project going on and I don't even have access to the backyard. But anyway, so yeah, I added a bag of salt. Like I said, I'm going to add another quarter bag and we're just going to edge that parts per million up. We don't want to go flying over it because then our salt cell, I just don't think it's as efficient. But anyway, just an absolutely gorgeous pool. I'm honored to serve this family. Okay, so I'm going to add some salt to the pool, but just a little. So there is a very aggressive return line here, which I'm just going to add it right here. Just a little. I'll brush anything that doesn't dissolve, but yeah, right here. Like I said, I'm only going to add like, you know, a quarter bag. Okay, that's gonna do it. I'll come back next week and check how that did. I'm gonna take this bag and I'm gonna put it back with my storage. See, here's another thing that's very good about this pool is that they have had a proper startup. The individual who did the startup, I met him yesterday. Nice guy, knows what he's doing, knows to not add the salt all at once. So he left me some bags, which I've added, and but I'm gonna add them slowly. Anyway, we're almost out of here. It is so wonderful to be taking care of all of these just gorgeous pools. I'm so honored. Okay, we're out of here. It's before 9, so this pool is not running, should not be running, and we're crystal clear. I think we got pretty much the exact right. We're probably right at 3,600 parts per million. Our trough is, well, I'm going to hit it one more time. We just got a huge gust of wind, but yeah, otherwise it's just sparkling clean. Our Hayward Navigator is doing okay. One of those things, the reason I believe that it works here on this interior finish is because it's new. Those things have rubber on the bottom and mine is all worn out. That's why it doesn't work. But this is working okay right now, and we're gonna make it work as long as it will work. The homeowner said when it's time, maybe we'll replace it, but we're gonna get all of the value that we can out of that. Look at that water, it's crystal clear. And yeah, that spa is looking good too. So anyway, we'll be moving on. Okay, here we are. Next stop. We're here at our new customer with a new pool with a new cover. And whether you know it or not, we had lots and lots and lots of rain in the last couple of weeks. And we had another rainstorm since I've been here. I was, obviously here a week ago, Friday, and then we had our most recent rainstorm Saturday. So, the purpose of me showing this right now is I want to show, builders, people who considering a cover, this is how it wears. These are the implications of owning one of these kinds of covers. And if you don't like this, then you shouldn't spend your money on it. I think these things are great. Perhaps, a way to combat this is, you know, opening it once a day and kind of washing it off, so to speak, but you're basically, you know, there's chlorinated water that's going to dry on it, and it's going to dry white. So like I mentioned before, I'm going to use my leaf blower to make sure this is all clean, or I will hand pick every little something, so when I do open it, it's not going to get caught here in this trough, which over time that's going to become a nightmare, and we don't have anything to do with that. So I'm going to open it up, check our chems, clean it up, and then we'll move on to our last stop of the day. Okay, let's take our chems. Always try to, I don't know why, I always take them in the deep end. Okay, so this is a new pool, right? This is like my third week here, and this was a pool that was just recently started up, but and this is also a testament to what the cold water can do to the salt level. Now, I added some salt to the last pool I was at because that pool is in a startup situation. I mean, it's the first time that water has been in that pool, which this pool is kind of in a similar situation. But the point is that that salt cell reading was like 2,700. So, and we had bang on 3,600 last week and weeks before. So the point that I'm making is that during the winter, your pool is going to act differently than it will during the summer. The salt cell, the chlorine generator, I want to reiterate that. Let's remember, if we're buying a salt cell, or if we're having a salt pool built for us, you have to realize the way that the pool gets sanitized is from liquid chlorine that the salt cell generator produces, right? The salt cell produces the chlorine. It takes the 3,600 parts per million or whatever it can find in the water, and it converts that to chlorine. So in case you didn't know, or you had a misconception, just want to set you straight. Okay, I wanted to speak to something that I brought up in a previous video about, well, regarding kind of Jandy terminology. I know, this is a Pentair pool, but Jandy used a spillway and spillover terminology in their iAqualink, and this is having to do with how you classify this as a during the startup period, right, when you're programming the pool for the first initial time. So we talked about spillways. This is an example, I believe, maybe what Jandy is talking about, is an example of a spillover, right? So instead of having a channel where the water will spill away, the spillway is like, you know, this is an example of a spillover in opposition to a spillway. Okay, so anyway, Pentair Rebel is doing super good. Pool's looking great. We are out of here, going to our last stop. Back here at the last stop of the day on Friday, perimeter overflow pool only. And yeah, talking about this pool's history is talking about ancient history. Seems a long time ago that this pool was green. And yeah, of course, that will never happen again as long as I take care of this pool. But yeah, just got to do the work. It's just like life. You get out of it what you put into it. Okay, let's do the chemicals and go to the deep end and get that done. Yeah, much warmer this weekend. And you know, people actually, somebody might swim in this pool. Now, it's probably going to be a crazy 12-year-old boy or something, but anyway, I digress. So there's plenty of chemicals in this pool for a winter pool. We have, once again, plenty of chlorine in our pool. Our pH is right there at 7.6. We have a nice amount of alkalinity and cyanuric acid. So I know this pool is really low on salt. I haven't added any since I took it over, and there you go. So, but at least last week it was at 2,400, and that just read 1,700. So once again, the cold water or the cold weather makes the water do some interesting stuff. So I'm gonna clean it up and we're gonna move on to going home. Okay, I was just interfacing with my homeowner and I am out of here. This is such a wonderful day and a beautiful looking pool. This is a great way to start my weekend off by finishing my week on a high note. Crystal clear water. The Pentair Rebel is working to keep things clean in my absence. Yeah, not anybody's really swimming these days, but that'll be changing soon. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week.